Good evening. Tonight, while we're waiting for people to join this live stream, there are some things that I feel need to be said. And as we are an environmental and climate change page and channel, we don't often comment on a lot of the other issues that go on in our country or in the world that are political in nature, other than the things that are happening with the administration of Donald Trump and his four horsemen of the apocalypse, who Rick Perry and Scott Pruitt and Ryan Zinke and all the other ones that are doing something or having something printed every day that shocks us, basically. First, I want to start out with a tribute to the people in Las Vegas and their families and all that happened since yesterday and all of the conversation that's been going back and forth online in the progressive community. It happened. It's real. A friend is in Las Vegas, confirmed everything, even though there were people that were saying things that to me ring crazy, not right. It's always okay to question. You always have to question. But I think sometimes people are getting carried away with the paranoia of the times. But I'm here because of the families and those people that have been affected, and all the trauma and all the drama in the hospitals and the caregivers and the first responders and all of those people in Las Vegas. Environmental Coffee House sends our hearts and our best thoughts. So, the next thing is Puerto Rico. And our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friend and sometimes commentator here, Chelsea Lyons, is in Puerto Rico doing what she can to volunteer to help the people in Puerto Rico, and I couldn't be more proud of her. It's just really, really it just shows what she's made of. And her activism is real. I don't think Chelsea would put herself in that situation if she wasn't the real deal, if she wasn't that person who has other people in her mind and her heart first. And I'm really proud of her. And thank you, Kim. Kim says Team Relief looks so tired. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are probably going to be very tired. And then I want to talk about Kevin Gilbert, who has also joined our team, part-time I would say, but who published a wonderful interview on Environmental Coffee House and with Darren in the UK. The fracking movement in the UK is real. These people mean business. They don't want that in their countryside. They don't want fracking to ruin their water. And I don't blame them. And Scotland finally voted against fracking. And I am very proud of that country, I have to say. Scotland did something that I hope will be followed by other countries while we find any kind of means to get off of fossil fuels if we can, if it's not too late. You know, I don't want to be the downer, and I do try to have the hopium, but sometimes it's hard. And especially when all of these extreme weather events have taken place, that has churned up a denial mill of deniers. And I don't like the word, but a denying, churning ugliness out there, because there are people that simply cannot fathom that this earth of ours that we love is being destroyed every day. And then there's Martin Hutchinson, who we've put on recently, who is riding his recumbent bike with his dog Starsky and is picking up rubbish, plastic rubbish, all over Portugal. And he is showing the world what garbage is all over in just a small place. But he's making an example, and that's another selfless person. A person who has a heart bigger than probably the whole country of Portugal itself. And he goes to the kennels where the homeless dogs are, and he shows us the homeless dogs, and he goes and gives them love. That's where he got his dog Starsky. But what he's doing is he's showing us his anger and his frustration at what is all over the world. For God's sakes, there's plastic in the melting ice in the Arctic. And that leads me to the hearings that are going on in our country about Alaska and the drilling that is the potential. And I don't hold hope. I don't feel that there's a lot of hope that the greed won't win out. I feel that it is the beginning of a very sad time for our Alaska and the Alaskan natives up there, who have been trounced upon just like every other native indigenous people. And the government in Alaska is right-wing, for what I don't know. I'm going to go where there's a little more light. For why I don't know. And they are pushing and pushing and pushing to drill, drill, drill. And I honestly, I really, really want to be positive that maybe it won't happen, but I don't hold out much hope. I think we're going to see the Alaska refuge, the national refuge. I think we're going to see drilling platforms. I wouldn't even be surprised if they didn't stop at that and start fracking in Alaska, if they haven't already. I have a somber tone tonight. It's not a happy time. It's a very confusing time, and it's a very sad time. But yet, out of it all comes the amazing things that happen here. And I'm going to say something about myself. I don't do this Environmental Coffee House for clicks, for likes, because I want to be a star at my age. I do this out of the conviction of my heart, right? It takes a lot to read and schedule all those articles on the page, and yes, I have help. I have Judy. Kat is on a hiatus. I mean, there is a small team. Roger's busy, but people do help, and they do find articles, but yet I do this because of my desire to educate. And I bring people like Trevor Andrew, who just joined us, to the page to give him exposure for the things he's done and his water system. That's why I do this. I do this because I don't have to. My life would be a whole hell of a lot easier if I didn't. Believe me. Lately I've been thinking, geez, you know how much easier it would be just to say screw it and give up all that work in the page? It's stressful. But I can't. Not yet. But I will say I'm looking. I'm looking for some help, and I'm looking for some fresh commentators. There's a young lady that Roger has spoken with that I'm interested in talking to. And I'm hoping that we get... It's just not me. I would like to have a younger person. I'd like to have fresh viewpoints on environmental issues so that we're well-rounded. And we have been together now since I think December, and January was the kickoff. I guess we're not doing too badly. We're approaching 5,000 follows, which is nice. Again, I said I'm not doing this for that, you know. But sometimes I have to be honest. It pisses me off that that there are others out there in this online thing that get a lot of notoriety and a lot of views and are spewing a lot of shit, basically, and talking a lot of crap. But I guess that's just human nature. I research. I don't talk crap. I ask questions and I make you think. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I am also working on getting the interviewing back, the ability. I broke down. I did something I said I wasn't going to do, but I got some new equipment. And I think that's going to solve the problem. And I'll be testing soon. Find the time to test, and we're going to bring you amazing interviews again. And I see that Dee Dee Banerjee just joined, and Dee Dee is another one of those amazing people from Canada. It's hard sometimes for me not to talk about the people that just impress me and touch my heart. I miss Jacqueline Lukman. She hasn't been around for a while, but Lukman Nation and Jackie, they're working very hard on their own issues, and her shows are second to none. And I guess that's what it was tonight. I have research I'm working on. I do have something I'm going to work on, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's going to be good. It's interesting. So, and I go off on different trajectories. The other night was the meat and the lab-created meat. That generated some conversation. And that generated some really wild conversation on the YouTube channel. But we're here. And I'm not going to give up the fight. I know that it is one of the most difficult times in history to live through. Some call it the end times. And Dee Dee just said she misses me, and I miss you too. And you know, we are going to still do that. Before the winter time, we're going to hang out in Niagara Falls. So, for sure. And I also do want to have a shout out. Oh my gosh, I was just going to give him a shout out to Torstein Vidal, who is going to be in Greenland. And I do hope that we will get some reports from Greenland. He runs the Arctic Sea Ice page, as you know, works it, puts the calculations about the sea ice up, and reminds us that we are in a precarious time, precarious situation. And hello, Torstein. I just want to say, Torstein, yeah, I'll take some seaweed, I'll take some fish. I'm actually really excited that he is, going to be in Greenland, but that's for him to talk about. I just think it's wonderful. Of course, I think he's wonderful, and I am. I guess in a spiritual, cosmic way, I'm blessed because of all of you with me, all these wonderful people, and I can't say it enough. I've done streams like this before, but it's true. It's why I continue this going on, doing this. I do it because of the people, these wonderful, amazing people. And I don't give a shit if I get 250 views. I don't give a shit if I get 2,000. When I have a good researched type of live stream, I like it to spread because I think that I have something to offer. And so do all of you. And Dee Dee says family. And so many of my wonderful favorite people are here tonight. So anyway, thanks for coming tonight. It's not a long one because I didn't prepare anything. I wanted to do my thing, and I'm not ready for it. The one I'm working on now, which is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's dark here. Yeah, it's dark. It's dark, but it was 75 degrees. What is it, October 3rd in Western New York? 75 degrees today. Unbelievable, and I was outside. It was a nice day to be outside. So, anywho, it's just a little housekeeping for Environmental Coffee House. And if you could share for me, it would be nice because Facebook's got me in jail till October 12th, and that's the day I leave for Boulder, Colorado for the Living Resilience Workshop that I will be participating in with Carolyn Baker and Dean Spillane Walker, the author of The Impossible Conversation, and I bit the bullet, and I'm going. I'm going because I am going to bring back the tools to help everybody with the most difficult time that we live in with this abrupt climate change. And that is why I'm doing this. I took the money out of my retirement and I don't give a shit. One thing my mother said to me the other day, and this is kind of weird, but I said, Ma, I don't have a lot of money, but it's making money. And she said, do you think that Donald Trump is going to let the stock market slip when all his friends own the stock market? So I guess I'll take advantage of it a little bit, huh? And maybe what I learn, I can translate and make this even more important. The information that I have, and I can help as many people as I can touch cope with the things that are happening. And hi, Cindy. And we will have Lori Root Riley from Houston. I didn't want to forget Houston. Lori's going to come on with us live once I do the testing. I'm procrastinating terribly, but she will be coming on. And she's going to tell us her story, what's happened to her in Houston. And Trevor's asking, so what happened to Vicky Marks with the bad press? I don't know. I'll have to write to Vicky. Vicky, I don't know what's going on. If there is something going on, I reach out to Vicky and I'll find out. So, everybody, thanks for coming. If you can share. It's all good. But thank you. We're going to stick around for a while. But hopefully we're going to change a bit and bring on some of those millennials. Some new voices. I really like having Kevin as part of the team. I know he does his page, but that was a kick-ass interview. Kick-ass. And I loved it. So, again, good night, guys. Thanks for coming. And yeah, Marcia, the last thing I'm going to say is coping is a huge issue. There is so much tragedy. And as my background is in that kind of field, I'm hoping to get some tools to help as much as I can the people that watch us cope and people in my personal life cope. Okay? So good night, guys. Peace. Love you. Good night.